Yo, what's poppin', peeps? Welcome to the channel. Lesage here. I'm just I think we might be live. I'm just trying to make sure that we're all live here before we get started. So if anyone wants to give me the go ahead, letting me know that we have that the audio's good, the video feed's good, all that good stuff, it'd be much appreciated. I'm just gonna double check here. Okay, cool. So we are live. So right now I have a bowl of grapes. We're totally vibing out with a big bowl of grapes. Vibing out with some water. Gotta stay hydrated. I slept for 4 hours, so I have cold brew. And I mean, it wouldn't be complete with a half can of Coke Zero on my desk. So, yo, what's poppin'? So I'm just kind of warming up, just getting all ready. I don't necessarily have amount of time that I want to be streaming for, or not that I want to be streaming for. Well, we'll see when we get there. But right now, like, I basically want to be covering over like some of these decks, like Mew. I haven't covered Mew in a minute. This is my most updated version of Mew right now. I think Mew's in a really good spot. Yo, Lindsay, what's poppin'? Hydrate or dihydrate? Facts. I mean, it's definitely a privilege to have the 3 drinks. I think that's like, when you make it in life, where you're like, I have a drink for like to stay awake. I have a drink because I want to stay hydrated. I have a drink because I like this drink. Yo, Christian, what's good? Welcome. You said you're a newcomer. Thank you so much for stopping by. Glad to see you tune in. So basically what I do with these live streams is I formulate them into videos afterwards. I'm sure you've seen other PokeTubers take a Twitch VOD or a YouTube stream and turn it into a video. My goal is to make sure that that video does not seem like it's from a Twitch stream or a YouTube stream. So I like to make sure that it's edited and well polished. That being said, in order to make that happen, I'm going to focus during my games. So while I'm playing in the games, I'm not going to be active in the chat. If anyone here is new to that, or if anyone wants to let anyone else, if they're asking questions, I'll get to everyone's questions afterwards, or try to. So if you think that I'm ignoring you, I'm just playing the games and trying to focus on some excellent gameplay, because I think that's really the reason why you're here. I'm a pretty funny guy, I'm a pretty chill dude, but really I'm known for being really good at pokes. First time tuning into the stream, yo Thomas, what's good? I know I'm a little biased, but play Shadow Rider. So I recently covered Shadow Rider. I try to cover decks that I haven't played in a minute, or at least shared to the YouTube world in a minute. So those decks would be basically Mew, Single Strike, and Jolteon are decks that I really want to showcase. So, those are what we're going to showcase. So I think I want to start off strong with some Mew gameplay. I'm already choking on grapes. What a great day. Don't die, Zach. Putting the other grape down. I got eaten by Eternatus with my Mew deck the other day. I literally lost to Etern in the top 8 of a tournament. I was 5-0-1, and then I lost to Etern. I was like, are you for reals? Are you for reals? So this is my Mew list. So that's kind of what we got going on with Mew. Let me just kind of share exactly what's going on with Mew in case anyone's wondering exactly what's going on with Mew. So Mew VMAX is all about its cross Fusion Strike attack. So you could choose one of your bench Fusion Strike Pokemon's attacks and use it for the 2 colorless energies. So the attacks that you really want to be copying are basically between Technoblast doing 210 damage, so 210 for 2 energies is really good, or you want to be copying Meloetta's Melodious Echo, 70 times the amount of Fusion Strike energy you have in play. This Pokemon can attack during your next turn, which travels onto the Mew, which means that using Melodious Echo with 3 or more Fusion Strike energies is really where it's at. This Pokemon also allows you to attack. You could attach a Fusion Strike energy from your hands and then play Ellis's Sparkles. And then you could go ahead and grab 2 Fusion Strike energies and attach them to your Fusion Strike Pokemon. So you go turn 1 going second, Melodious Echo. Now, that being said, I still think it's better to go first with Mew so you can get an energy and get set up and you're in a good spot, because if you miss that, then you're not in a good spot. We also have the draw power of Fusion Strike system. That's probably the most broken part about this deck. You get to draw a whole bunch of cards. I think that's really cool. There's a lot of ways accelerating energies. You have stadiums that can do damage to your opponent's Pokemon. Power Tablet also increases your damage output. The cool card that I added in here is Oricorio, not the spiciest tech, because I mean it is fairly obvious adding any Fusion Strike Pokemon to this deck, but all of your Fusion Strike Pokemons take 20 less damage from your opponent's Pokemon. I think this really helps out against the Jolteon VMAX matchup, so that's really why I've added it in there, because Jolteon VMAX has spiked recently. So Mew VMAX, really good deck. It's been discovered a lot. I've covered it a few times on the channel before, but this is what we have going on, so let's eventually get to some gameplay. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the versus ladder, peeps. I'm just gonna check the chat. Hey man, I said yesterday and how you explain things is top notch. I really appreciate it, E-Rock. Yo, Goopa, what's good? I'm trying to decide what I want to play. It's so hard. Yo, Roth, what is up? Yo! Job one day. I prefer using Dynatree Hill instead of Old Cemetery. I mean, Old Cemetery is sometimes good. I think that's kind of where I'm at. It's sometimes good. These things are kind of difficult to go over. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and find the versus ladder, not the theme decks. We want to be going here. Let's see what we can get going on. Where is Mew? We're gonna be jumping into a game, so if anyone wants to let anyone new join in the chat, I know we got like 24 people watching. Yo, sup, Toby? How's it going? I'm just gonna, like I said, focus on the gameplay. If it's a game that I don't think is gonna necessarily make it into a YouTube video, I'll probably just stop recording that game, continue on the stream, obviously, and we'll see exactly how it goes. But y'all know if I'm talking to y'all or not. And let's see exactly what we got going on with this vid. I feel like this is the best way for me to record videos. I'm able to record a few videos, I'm able to share knowledge, I'm able to hang out with peeps in the stream. So it's kind of what I was doing anyways, but I get to hang out with people and really show some of the gameplay early. Okay, and away we go, peeps. So we're starting off by winning the coin flip. Would we like to go first? Yeah. Going first with Mew is really where you want. If you go second, you can attack with Meloetta. It's kind of cool too. Genesect, Battle VIP Pass, Quick Ball, Great Ball. This is an excellent start for our deck because we can draw a whole bunch of cards. Now, we are playing against an Urshifu deck. They might play Galarian Moltres V. They might not. We'll have to see exactly how that works out. We are going to go ahead with Battle VIP Pass first. Or actually, you want to? We're going to go with Great Ball first because we're really searching for another Genesect here. So let's see if we can get one. We did not, but we can get a Meloetta so we can fully fill up our bench. We're going to go Battle VIP Pass, look through the deck as much as possible. And we don't need things like, well, I mean, I guess Oricorio can be pretty cool too in this matchup because if they do play, what's it called, the Melanie version, we could lower their Pissimian's damage and lower their Telescopic Sights damage. So, I mean, I think that would be pretty cool. We're going to go ahead and go Genesect, usually want to go Genesect, Meloetta. And you want to go ahead and get set up with these. I do want to keep the Ellis's Sparkle in my hand for next turn. I think that's going to be a great way for us to get set up. When it comes to Power Tablet, we might not need it too much. But we might at the same time. I think I'm probably going to take away... it's really tough. I don't want to get rid of the Mew VMAX. I don't want to get rid of the Elsa. I think I got to get rid of the Elsa, though, for a Mew. The reason why I'm getting rid of that is so that we could have a Quick Ball. So when we draw some more cards, we could go ahead and... use it again, use Fusion Strike System, because this is really where the deck's broken. I think the boss could be really good for us. So I'm going to go ahead here, pitch this. You always want to have double Mew down whenever possible. And I think, like, we're okay. I want to put that down, draw some more cards. I really want to get an energy attached this turn if I have the opportunity to do so. So right now I feel good with an energy. We have access to a Cram-O-Matic. I could always pitch that away, so I want to hold on to that. I'm not really worried about our opponent's trainer or their stadiums when it comes to this matchup. They're probably not playing Galar Mine or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and put the Training Cord in play just so we could draw a few more cards with Fusion Strike System. It's always that battle between holding onto resources or maximizing your efforts. Because right now we're really close to just being able to knock out whatever our opponent has. And they might just scoop this game. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, let's go like that. So, we're going to see exactly what our opponent has here. There's the Dark Energy. So we know they have the Galarian Moltres V. I mean, at least we should assume so. Okay, cool. There's Galarian Moltres V. Awesome. So we have access to Cram-O-Matic that might be able to get us an energy. We have the Mew VMAX. We have ways to draw cards, but basically the big thing that we want to do is eventually knock out this Galarian Moltres V. We have Power Tablet because it has 220 HP, and our opponent's just going to concede the game because they're going to lose the game. Cool. So that's a game that's probably, like I said, it's not going to make it to YouTube, even though we had a flawless setup. Or maybe not even like flawless, we just had a really good setup. So you can see how quickly powerful Mew is. Let's just jump back in there. Yo, Josh, how's it going? Word. Nice seeing you around. I miss you, homie. Do I play Dogpile 2 for an event tonight? I don't think that deck's good. What's popping on the IRL tourney? Wish I could come join. Shadow Rider has been kicking my butt in Newport League Store. Same matchup, same wins. I mean, I'm excited for the In Real Life tournament as long as things don't get shut down here in Ontario. Anyone else try Urshifu Rapid Strike Moltres V deck? Yep, I have it on the channel. Yo, Calvin, how's it going? All the cool people are here today. So, I'm just enjoying my grapes, playing some pokes. I really can't ask for too much else. So we're going to try to jump into another game here. Amphi 343. Maybe we'll get a better start here. So we're starting this game off. We lost the coin flip. Let's see how it starts off. I mean, we have access to Mew. We have access to Meloetta. We have access to ways to get Genesect. So I think this is actually a really good good starting hand for us. Now, we don't want to start it off with anything except Mew because Mew has free retreat. It's really the big thing to focus on here. So we're going to see what our opponent flips over. And we don't want to put anything else on our bench. Escape Rope is real, whereas Reset Stamp is not. So they're playing some kind of Sobble deck. This could be Jolteon. This could be a lot of things. So carefully try to identify what your opponent's playing whenever they flip anything up, because it might allow you to put proper text down, especially when we have things such as the Oricorio in this deck that would be helpful against either Rapid Strike or Jolteon. Those are Pokemon that I'm really looking for. Looks like our opponent's carefully thinking their plays out here. It's been a minute, but we'll see exactly what they decide to do. They just might go pass. Okay, so they're playing something dark type. Is this going to be Rapid Strike, Urshifu, Moltres? If it is, going second is not terrible. It just doesn't allow us to have like a huge explosive knockout your Galarian Moltres turn 2 kind of start, or turn 1 kind of start. Okay, so Galarian Moltres, energy. This also could be the baby Moltres deck, so it might not necessarily be the best play for them. They have the energy there, so we might actually just try to go for the knockout. I think first things first is we want to grab another Mew out of our deck. I think that's step 1. And it also allows us to peek through our deck. I don't want to grab an energy because we're going to try to go for some kind of Fusion Strike Elisa play. It might be difficult, but we'll try to get there. So we're going to see, we have our Genesect. We're big chilling here. So we're going to grab the Mew. Before we play the Mew down, the next best card to play is Great Ball. So we thinned out a Pokemon out of our deck to try to Great Ball into a Genesect. I find whenever I do that, it never works out for me. But that's okay. We're going to go Quick Ball away the switch. And we're going to search our deck for... a Genesect. This is really the first step. So let's go with Rotom Phone before we put anything else down. What do we want to get on top of our deck? I mean, I'm totally cool to grab a Psychic Energy, because if we get an Elisa Sparkle, we can get a turn 1 knockout on our opponent's Pokemon. I think that sounds pretty important. So let's go ahead and keep that there. Let's go Genesect, Meloetta, Mew. And you want to what? Maybe we don't need that. Maybe we want to get more draw power. So let's try again with the Rotom Phone. We're going to put the Great Ball on top of our deck. Yeah, I think that sounds a little bit better. Okay, so let's go ahead and go for Fusion Strike System. We got some things going on for us. So let's go ahead and let's go Cram-O-Matic on a switch. Okay, cool. That works out really nicely for us. So you want to go for an Ellis' Sparkle. I think that sounds like the play. I'd like to grab a Battle VIP pass, but I don't necessarily know if we'll be able to get everything we want this turn. So if worst comes to worst, Ellis' Sparkle will allow us to thin some cards out of the deck. We are going to power up these two Pokemon, grabbing Energy. We're going to go Great Ball. If we get Genesect, we are chilling with another 4 cards coming to our hands. So we are 1 energy away from being able to knock out the Sobble. And we will be able to get more cards in our hands. It's actually crazy. If we get a Fusion Strike Energy and a Power Tablet, we actually get the knockouts. So that's kind of cool. So we're going to go like this. We're actually going to pitch the Mew away. So we have just lost cards in the deck. Actually, I could have pitched the boss's orders away. That might have been a little bit better. It doesn't matter. We're still drawing a significant amount of cards here. If we get an energy, we're chilling. If not, we're not. So we didn't end up getting it. So we're going to go ahead here, retreat into this Mew. It's much better to retreat into a Mew that has nothing going on. And we're going to go ahead here and pass. Like, you can see that we have cards that are going to be good for next turn. I think that's really the big thing that we want to focus on. Now, the thing that's going to be scary is if we're playing against the new Baby Moltres Hoopa deck. This might just be bait, and then they're going to drop a Baby Moltres on us and knock us out. If this is some kind of Urshifu deck, it might be something a little bit different. So we'll see how our opponent really reacts to our first turn. I know we went through a lot of our deck. They do have the Rapid Strike energy, so that does look like we are playing against Rapid Strike Urshifu Moltres. And I'm totally fine with our opponent marning our hand under our deck. It's like our hand was good, but it wasn't that good. So we're likely going to be able to see an energy here or a way to get an energy. So you can see we have the Fog Crystal, we have the Fusion Strike energy. We're really 1 Power Tablet away from getting the knockout with Meloetta. And they might just go for Call for Family here or Keep Calling or whatever it is. So I think we're relatively chilling right now. So, yeah, there's their Keep Calling. They're going to go ahead, probably grab Rapid Strike Urshifu, Sobble. Oh, they're just literally they're turning themselves into a different kind of deck. Now, the thing is, that's going to be difficult is that our Battle VIP passes are going to clog our hand up. We're going to go ahead here, use Fog Crystal, grab nothing. We'd like to grab, you want to know what? I think our first step is going to be going Boss's Orders because we want to knock out this Pokemon. So that's really going to help us out in that kind of thing. We're going to go Fusion Strike System here because we don't know who we want to attach to yet either, right? We're going to go Cram-O-Matic, and if we end up getting this, we're in a great spot. We are going to go ahead and go for... If I go for the Power Tablet, I feel like I'm in a really good spot. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Power Tablet, because either way we get the knockout with Meloetta. So that guarantees it. And now we have access to another Fusion Strike System, because I'd rather get it with the Mew VMAX. That has a little bit more staying power right now. So let's go ahead, do this, pitch that away, grab nothing. And we're going to try again with Fusion Strike System. If we get a Mew VMAX here, we are able to get the knockout with Mew VMAX. Okay, so we're going to be forced to attack with the Meloetta. And I mean, we can always double check through to make sure that that we play the Power Tablet, because it's hard when you don't have them in play. No reason to put Training Court down, no reason to do anything else. So we are just going to get the knockout with our little Meloetta, doing Melodious Echo for 240 damage, knocking out the Galarian Moltres V. So our opponent has no threats on board. We have another Pokemon half powered up, and we did get another Fusion Strike energy, so we're pretty good to go for the next turn as well. I think that's really the big thing that we're looking at, is that our opponent has pretty much nothing going on. They could respond maybe with a Raihan play or something like that, but right now they don't really have much going on. If they go Galarian Moltres, we have our Mew chilling on our bench, and we respawn knockout again to that Galarian Moltres. So there's their Drizzile. They might go ahead and go for the Raihan play. The Raihan play can get an energy there, an energy there. So we might be getting knocked out here. We'll see. There's their Raihan. And it depends on how many Galarian Moltres they play. A lot of lists are playing 2, a lot of lists are playing 3. Will they be able to balance these plays back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? What's the other card that they're going to grab? Are they going to grab another Dark Energy so that they're able to knock us out? What are they going to be able to do in this particular game? So we're going to see exactly how our opponent really reacts to this. There's that energy. There's their Dire Flame Wings. And they don't have a way to bring up the Mew V. So again, like, they're gonna bring this up. We're big chillin'. Maybe they're just gonna try to get a boss's orders for next turn. They've already played their supporters, so again, it's really like, how are they gonna be able to get Raihan energy exactly? So they have their Drizzle. What are they doing here? I always like to double check exactly what our opponent's doing. Drew Drizzle. So they haven't played it yet. Yeah, it doesn't show that they've used their Shady Dealings. I just always try to double check. Obviously, it's the only one in play. So our opponent actually made it a little bit too easy for us. They didn't go after the Meloetta. We could have just gone Boss's Orders knockouts against them. So really just having a strong chance against these decks that play Dark-type Pokemon overall. So I mean, so far so good. We're doing pretty good against these decks. Like, you can see how Mew, like, the counters to Mew are not good counters right now. Unless you're going fully against it, they're not great counters. Still just enjoying these grapes. So we're going to jump into another game with Mew VMAX. I mean, we're currently on a roll. We're on a five game win streak. So we're really just waiting for this next game. Yo, PJ, what's good? So we lost the coin flip. That's completely fine. Let's see how this game starts off. I mean, if there's a hand to maybe get a donk, having an Elsa Sparkle, access to a Genesect, access to drawing cards, access to all these things are really what we're going to be looking for. And it looks like our opponent's probably playing Sylveon, Malamar. There's another Rapid Strike Urshifu, so it looks like it's Rapid Strike Urshifu Melanie. We might be able to knock them out this upcoming turn. So we have an energy, really not that bad. We can get the knockout on their Remoraid turn 1. So I think what we want to be doing here is going Fog Crystal to search through our deck. We want to go Fog Crystal, search for a Meloetta. Or not Meloetta. We want to go for Mew in this matchup because I don't think we need to worry about Meloetta as much. Maybe the next turn we can see that we have a lot of good cards going on here. A lot of cool things. Let's go here. We're going to go Elsa Sparkle. Because we can always attack with Psychic Leap on our first turn too. Like, we're going to take a prize card on our first turn. Relatively free. Before we attach that energy, we're going to go ahead, go Great Ball. You can see how, like, our deck is just pretty much set up off of, like, a mediocre hands. This is what makes Mew so good in this particular format, is just, like, we have these ways to get set up, and we're just big chillin', and there's a Meloetta. Our opponent can decide to knock it out with G-Max Rapid Flow. That's totally fine. We are going to go Rotom Phone here. When it comes to Quick Ball, I think Quick Ball seems like a solid choice. We can go ahead and go Oracle. Our opponent's going to concede. So they know that we're getting knocked out. We feel like whatever. We're doing pretty good. I think that Mew is okay against decks like Duraludon. I think Mew is now grown to a point with double training court that it can usually do well enough. Yeah, I think both, oh, you're good, you're good, you're good. I don't ever get offended with anyone's takes. So maybe we'll turn this 6 into a 7. Yeah, that guy, that dude was definitely like, nah, we're not doing it. Also, we got like 40 people in here right now. Can everyone like give that like button a thumbs up? It'd be really, really awesome if you could. You have a budget deck option? Yeah, Mew's pretty broken. No Poka. Cool. We're going to be jumping into this game in a second. Waiting for them to call the coin flip. So we just lost the coin flip. Our opponent's looking like they don't want to... I don't know if they want to go first. Okay, so they're going to go first. We're going to go second. That's completely fine. When you have the choice between starting with Oricorio and with Meloetta, it's better to start with Meloetta. The reason being that Meloetta allows you to potentially attack on the first turn. So our opponent got a mulligan. Let's see what we're working with here. This could be a tough one. I have no clue what deck this is. I'm not going to lie. I have no clue what kind of deck this is. It looks like they're trying to draw cards. Maybe they have some kind of Pokemon that allows them to draw cards. So it could be an interesting matchup. A lot of peeps might be wondering, like, why do I even play against games like this? I like to explore what's going on in the Pokemon format. Maybe they found out a deck that's really cool, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. There's a lot of cool decks that are viable right now because Mew can't necessarily always deal with single prize card Pokemon. That's why we're seeing Malamars and Regidragos and even like Baby Boltons and Baby Moltres, like cards that haven't necessarily seen success before, are all technically viable right now. So maybe this is the next big deck. Maybe it's something that I could cover on the channel. Let's see what we get there. Battle VIP Pass. You'll love to see it. Now there's Zubat chilling at 50 HP. I'm all about knocking at these Pokemon. They are Dark type. I don't know if it's attacking Zubat or attacking deck or anything like that. Top decking that as well. So we're going to start off with the Battle VIP Pass. I think we're probably just going to fill up our bench a little bit. I don't think our opponent's going to be doing any crazy plays with bench sniping, so we probably don't need the Oricorio too much. We did press a couple Elisa Sparkles, so we want to keep that in mind as we play through the game. But we do have Crammomatics to search them out if we do need so. We're going to go Quick Ball away. Again, I don't really care about the Oricorio too much, so we're going to go ahead and pitch that away. We're going to grab a Genesect here, put the Genesect, the Mew. We probably don't need Power Tablet too much in this matchup. So you can see we can kind of play out our entire hands. There's the Elisa Sparkle, so we are going to be able to attack. Will we be able to find Switch? That's really the big question. Or will we be able to attack a turn 1? Because like right now we have access to turn 1 to 10. I think right now Meloetta is completely fine. If they end up knocking it out, that's cool. Most single prize card decks usually find a way, but we'll probably end up finding a Switch anyways. We're going to go Quick Ball away our Quick Ball, search our deck for another Mew. And we're going to go ahead and power up the Meloetta and the Mew, so we got the turn 1 Melodious Echo. So that's why I like playing the four Elisa Sparkle, so you get those massive turn 1s. If you're not going first and getting set up, you're going second and you're going hard. We could play this out a little bit more. I think I'm completely fine with how this hand is. We have options for Crammomatic. Sometimes when you're playing Mew, you want to know when to put the foot on the brake. So we are going to go for the Melodious Echo and see exactly what our opponent decides to do here. They might be like, yo, this Mew deck's too overpowered, we're going to concede. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like playing against Mew on the ladder, especially if they're trying out their single prize card decks or anything else like that. Schoolboy is gonna, if you have 1, 3, or 5 prize cards remaining. Oh, if your opponent, okay. So they're trying to draw a bunch of cards. Again, I'm not sure how this all works out or what Pokemon they're playing in their deck. Like, maybe this is some kind of drawing cards deck. I really want to look at the deck afterwards for the game. Yeah, so Indeedee is going to be the way that they're going to be dealing with it. Does 10 damage for each card in your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they don't have it. Maybe we want to knock out the Indeedee here because that might be difficult for us to deal with. But first, you want to what? We're going to go try to get a Switch, or maybe we'll go for Escape Rope. Yeah, maybe we'll just go for a Switch so we can keep Escape Rope for later on in the game. We're going to go ahead and grab this. We want to keep our Meloetta low HP. This has high HP, so I think that sounds pretty cool. Cool. Let's go Boss, bring that up, switch here, and we can start drawing some more cards. Again, I really don't care about the Training Court being in play. I really don't care about the Old Cemetery. I want to keep options in play, so let's go ahead here and go for... we could really do whatever we want. Let's go Max Miracle, because that just gets the knockout. We don't need to do Technoblast. We don't even need to go for a Melodious Echo. We're just really going for those quick attacks to try to get through this deck as quickly as possible. We don't have Marnie, so they're just going to be able to build up their hands throughout the entire game. And maybe that's why it's good, because Mew does not play Marnie. I know that their Crobat also draws cards. So understanding like little cards like this can also improve your rate of play. Like right now they're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's either 12 or 13 cards. I wish there was something that told you how many cards were in your opponent's hands, but they're not at 33 cards in their hand. So pretty cool concept so far. They're drawing 4 cards. It's better to play Hop if they're just trying to draw cards, or maybe play Avery or something like that. Don't know what the Feebas evolves into. Melodic, I think. This is really an interesting deck, and it might just be budgets. So when it comes to things like this, I always try to understand what our opponents might be evolving into. Maybe the Melodic has an ability or something. So I think it's probably the Dewguard one that blocks anything being done to their hands. So right now I'm really not too worried about that. I think right now we just continuously try to get set up. I'm gonna go Great Ball, try to get another Mew VMAX. So we're big chilling with that. I'm not really worried. Like, we're almost past the point of our opponent being able to win this game. So let's go ahead and go Boss's Orders. We could maybe take out their NDDs. That might be cool. I don't think their Crobat's going to be doing too much either. Maybe it will be. It might just be doing 200. Let's go hit the NDD. If they end up getting the knockout on a Mew VMAX, that's cool too. We can definitely expect that in some matchups. We're going to go Rotom Phone. Maybe we can get an energy here. We have an Alice of Sparkle, so I mean, that's kind of cool. So we're going to go ahead and draw another card. And we can waste the Alice of Sparkle out of our deck. Oh, so sorry. We actually only have... Oh, we played Boss. That's what we did. Okay, I was like, you want to know what? That would have been really cool if we would have been able to play it. We did play a Boss on their NTD. That's completely my bad. But that's it's also fine. We don't need to worry about too much. We're just trying to get set up throughout the game as the game plays out. So there's another Alice of Sparkle. So we're paying a little bit for that mistake of drawing those cards and clogging our hand up. That's something that you might run into there. So yeah, I think I'm right with the Dewguard Melodic. So it's really just so things don't affect the hand. They're just trying to build up a big hand and attack with NDDs. The issue is that they might run out of NDDs, or they might run out of attacks that they might be able to do. If they ever hit a Mew VMAX, I'm just going to go ahead and attack with Meloetta. I might attack with another Mew VMAX. We're almost to the point where our opponent is not able to win this game. Maybe they're just going to go Boss, Boss, Boss. Oh, actually, they already played Boss. I don't know if they played Catcher. We'll see exactly. We'll see exactly how it goes. They have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we'll find out really quick. 150. Really not a lot. Things that we just don't have to worry about. So we are going to go Alice of Sparkle here. That's the only Pokemon that we want to power up. So we can go ahead and attack with our other Mew VMAX. This is a cool strategy that I like to do a lot of the time. It allows you to kind of balance on these types of things. And we'll see exactly what our opponent can do to this Mew VMAX. Likely not knocking it out. So we're going to go Max Miracle again. Our opponent's in a really tough spot because we have 3 attacking Pokemon and they have 6 prize cards left. So if they don't knock out a Pokemon this turn, they cannot win the game unless they can draw multiple prize cards in a turn, which I don't think they'll be able to do. So regardless of whatever our opponent's playing, you always got to understand that like new ideas are something worthwhile to explore. Like in the first game, we've already played against Rapid Strike, Urshifu Moltres, very tier 1 heavy deck. We'll see how it all plays out. Looks like they're going to go for a gigantic attack here. Maybe they will be able to get the knockout. But our deck was able to get set up. The strategy was being able to be deployed. I think that's really the cool part. I think this deck actually looks really cool. If you were playing in a single deck, single prize card deck format, I think it'd be really cool. Because NDD is hitting for way more than I think anyone would ever think NDD is hitting for. So I think it's a fun deck for sure. It might be a deck that I might want to try what's going on there. Yeah, it'd be really cool if they built up a gigantic hand, if they had a way to copy or make you force play a copycat or something. 200 damage, so yeah, they're not going to be able to win this game. We're going to go ahead, send up this one. And again, we're just going to vibe out here with the Max Miracle. So we've built up everything we possibly can in play. Considering we have 1 prize card left and they have 6. If they knock out a Mew VMAX, we bring up another Mew VMAX. If they knock out this Mew VMAX, we bring up another Mew VMAX. This is how you're able to checkmate opponents. I know that this is a one-dimensional matchup where they're only going after one Pokemon at a time, or at least that's what I can assume. But it is one of those things where we have to also assume that that's how checkmating works in other matchups, how you're able to kind of cross off a list and dot every I and cross every T. Gym Trainer. Jeez, they have every single card. It looks like they're going to be able to knock out the Mew VMAX. 240 is a lot of damage for a single prize card Pokemon. I do want to put that out there. So we're going to go ahead. Well played to our opponents. Just in case we do get the math wrong or anything. They were 1 turn away from winning for what it's worth. We are going to go for Melodious Echo, but they are going to concede beforehand as well. So, yeah, that's what we got going on. Like, I think that's probably enough gameplay with Mew to really show exactly how strong Mew is. I went on a 7-game win streak with Mew. I think that shows. Yo, we got the E-turn. Let's go. We on that roll, peeps. We're just rolling through these games. So what's everyone up to today? I'm just gonna take a second. I'll show the Mew list quickly. Yo, what's up? What's up? I'm just chilling today. I'm gonna stream later on the Shuffle Squad channel. If you guys haven't checked out, or if everyone here hasn't got a chance to check out the Shuffle Squad, check out the Shuffle Squad and toss them a sub. I'll shoot over the link in a second. I create content there. We just took a pause to restructure, but there's the Shuffle Squad right there. If everyone there could just go ahead and toss a sub, it would really help out a lot. I know that we have Gabe Smart and we have Vaughn O'Brien, both great players in the game, both players that I love testing with. So be sure to check out that channel if you haven't already. Again, a sub there would be amazing. We're so close to 1,000 over there. You just want to play, but in my opinion, it's kind of meh. Watching it over and over. Yeah, I don't want to play Mew anymore for it. Again, like, a lot of the stuff is going to be getting put into video format. So I do try to record content as we go through here. Now, I want to double check. I'll show you my Jolteon deck. This is my Jolteon deck. I think this is the same exact list that Vaughn was able to win the 1.7K event with in Connecticut. I'm just double checking PTCGO prices because I've been looking for the new Jolteon VMAX. Yeah, there's only one Jolteon and one Jolteon VMAX. And they're both 40 packs each. So even though I have a couple hundred packs of Fusion Strike, I'm not looking for it. It's great to watch now, especially as we haven't got any Mews yet. Yeah, Mew's cracked right now. Like, it's literally, so far, the best deck in the format. It's not even funny. Since you are a Shuffle Squad member, any advice on how to be part of the squad? So basically what I think, yeah, we do, Calvin, I know, right? This is the poverty deck, the poor deck. I need all those clout cards because they just came out on PTCGO. So, just to explain this, Jolteon VMAX is released, and so is the Jolteon V. They were only released in the Pokemon Center US, as far as I'm concerned, in Pokemon US, Pokemon Center Canada. But box products cost a decent bit, so right now it's only collectors, and that's why there's not a lot on PTCGO. I think stores get them early January. So I'm kind of hoping to get those codes. If anyone has any, I got packs. But I'm really excited to try to get those cards. So for the Shuffle Squad, right now I think the Shuffle Squad's an application only. And I think what we're trying to do is really focus on a learning environment, if that makes sense. So when I say that we're focusing on a learning environment, or it's from a professional aspect. So that's why right now we currently have myself, Gabe, and Vaughn, because we all play at a high competitive level and we're able to show exactly how to play these high competitive decks. So later on tonight, I'm doing tabletop gameplay and I'm going to show everyone how to play Jolteon perfectly, or as close to perfect as possible. So yeah, DM me on Twitter. Yeah, you're all good. I mean, we're just vibing here today. So I mean, again, if anyone's looking to get in there, Shuffle Squad's like kind of closed applications, but it's one of those things, if the right person walks along the way, they'd be interested in that. So you got to think, are you that player? And it's not that we're trying to make a closed society, but right now we're just trying to kind of have a collaborative group that helps people grow in the game. And some players are better suited for that than others. Again, I don't necessarily know your qualifications or your video or whatever's going on, but by all means, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter and then get in contact with the Shuffle Squad on Twitter. I think those are the best things that you possibly can do. Anyways, so Jolteon VMAX, busted deck. We are going to be covering this one. If I can get my mouth. So, another thing, I'm crazy. And I bought 20 pounds of grapes the other day at the grocery store. So, you're going to be like, Zach, like, did you actually buy... I literally bought like 20 pounds of grapes. Like, these are the best grapes I've ever had in my life. So I go to this bougie grocery store, and everything's always way too expensive there, including these grapes. And I'm not trying to be like... If you're watching this and you're like, Zach, are you trying to grab some clout by saying you buy expensive grapes? I mean, no. I'm just trying to explain the whole backstory, right? It's one of those things where, how do I put it? The grapes that I normally buy are about $6 a pound. $6 Canadian, so they're pretty pricey. They're autumn crisp grapes, whatever. They had pallets on for 10 cents a pound. Because they literally got like too much off their truck or something. And I'm talking like it's a grocery store that I go in there for like a couple things and I'm just like, yeah. They were on for 10 cents a pound, right? So I got 20 pounds of grapes for $2. It was crazy. And they're my favorite grapes. Like they're literally like modified to be like extra crispy and they're gigantic and they have like tasting notes of the grapes. It's one of those things where it's funny, okay? I literally carrying up to my apartment in the elevator like 20 pounds of grapes. My wife's just like, what the heck? So, grapes deck, yeah. Literally, if I was like snacking on anything else, like you could put anything in front of me, a bag of chips, you could put pound of sugar, it doesn't matter. I'd rather have a thing of grapes so I have access to like a healthier snack. It's 2021, about to be 2022. I'm trying to make some smart life changes. My man be investing in grapes. Yeah, grapes TCG. Let's grape. So we're gonna go over the Jolteon deck in case anyone doesn't know exactly what's going on with this one. So here we have it. We have Jolteon VMAX. Jolteon VMAX is all about the Max Thunder Rumble. It does 100 damage to the active, and it also does 100 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. So that's a run-on sentence, but nonetheless, we need to get damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon. Now, watch out for Mew VMAX's Fusion Strike energies. That's the biggest tip that I can give you. Don't run into a brick wall. Galarian Zigzagoon places damage counters with Headbutt Tantrum, so you can play that around. We also have access to Scoop Up Net to scoop up that Pokemon, reutilize that ability throughout the game. We also have access to Quick Shooting Inteleon to place damage counters on those Pokemon. So the goal is to draw multi-prize card turns with Jolteon VMAX, placing damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon, carefully getting those knockouts to win in the quickest way possible while not losing the game. We have Fan of Waves to take away Fusion Strike energy or just any special energies in general. We have Path to the Peak in general, that seems pretty cool. Just to block your opponent's abilities. Genesec's Fusion Strike system comes to mind. There's other decks that just fold to Path to the Peak. We have Cheryl that allows us to heal our Pokemon. Now you might be like, this is 2 energy attack. Why would we be playing Cheryl? You don't have a way to accelerate energies. Well, we actually have Elemental Badge. So if the V Pokemon card is Jolteon in its name, which both of these Pokemon do, they cost 1 less energy, so Max Thunder Rumble effectively costs 1. When you use Cheryl, you don't discard the Elemental Badge. And then, of course, you can go ahead and use Speed Lightning Energy or a Lightning Energy. We also have access to the Shady Dealing Drizzile, and we have access to the Inteleon to use Shady Dealings to search things out at our will throughout the rest of the game. The reason why we play this Sobble, a lot of people are always like, yo, why do you swap between this Sobble and the Sobble that has 70 HP in some of your decks? And the reason why is if you're able to attack the following turn if you use Keep Calling. So let me explain that. If I'm put in a situation where I need to be using Keep Calling, I want to be able to search for some other Sobbles so I can get set up with maybe use Drizzile Shady Dealing or something like that. That's explainable. Now, I'm able to attack the following turn by fresh attaching an energy here and using Elemental Badge. Max Thunder Rumble's an option. If you're playing a deck like Leafeon VMAX, for example, you cannot attach a grass energy and use Grass Knots. There's no way to accelerate that extra energy. So as you're playing through these decks, you have to understand if there's ways to accelerate energies to your Pokemon, or if you play enough Rapid Strike Pokemon, where this one by default is the best one. The only other reason why the other one's better is because it has 10 HP more. But if you're not attacking anyways, it doesn't make sense. Or if you just don't want to attack with it, this one just has more HP. So that's the really reason. So that's my little 2 cents on Sobble. That being said, we're all about Max Thunder Rumble here. So let's jump into some gameplay, see exactly what we got going on with this deck. So that explains where we're at with the Jolteon VMAX deck. At least I hope it does. Where are we at, peeps? I'm reading, and this is why we love you, Zach. VMAX Grapes, I want to be... Wow, great! Stop. What is more played, Jolteon or Urshifu Single Strike? I think Jolteon is right now. The best budget deck right now is probably Turbo Zacian. Grapes coin just skyrocketed. Let's discuss the fruits. Wait a second, Gengar is just the grape Pokemon. No wonder why my man loves Gengar. Stop. Grapes are a fruit. Keep Calling's insane. Why keep calling and not call for friends? I have no clue. Keep calling all day long. So the reason why is because it has more HP. If you're not going to be using Keep Calling effectively, or if your deck cannot use effectively, that's the reason why. It's also due to Dragapult, so some decks like this would have played it. Dragapult's not played in the format, so now we could correctly choose between deck building. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we got going on. Versus-wise, we're going to play Jolteon now. Maybe we'll be able to keep our win streak of 7. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be really cool. So we're about to jump into this game. I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee and... So we're starting off this game by losing the coin flip, which means we're going to be going second. Not really the craziest start, but we do have access to Jolteon. Jolteon does have free retreats. It's pretty good to know that we could just kind of balance in between. With our opponent playing a lightning type deck box, I'm not entirely sure what they're playing. Jolteon Mirror, cool. This could really just come down to who has a better start or not. We'll really just try to get set up throughout the game quicker than our opponent can. So we have access to Speed Lightning Energy. We can get 20 damage onto this Jolteon maybe. Might be better to do that against our opponent's Pokemon. The Jolteon Mirror is really something that can go back and forth, really relying on Cheryl, maybe not overbenching too much. So we can kind of chill out and see exactly what's going on right now. So they got no energy. That might hurt them a little bit. Let's see what we can do with our Speed Lightning Energy. So we have Level Ball possibly for the next turn. And I think right now we might just want to hit the Sobble so that we can start drawing prize cards on our next turn as quickly as possible. So I don't know what they have going on right now. We're going to go ahead here and go Thunder Spear right now to this Sobble, and we're going to vibe out. If they don't have everything, we're just kind of chilling. So it's better to not play Pokemon down if you don't have to, because they're going to be able to knock out that Pokemon on the bench. Or at least we assume that they're going to be able to knock out the Pokemon on the bench. We're already set up, ready to attack for our next turn, and let's see how they decide to play this one out. If they can't match what we have going on, we're big chillin'. So there's their Elemental Badge, there's their Jolteon, so they are going to be able to attack us, but they're only going to be able to do 100 damage this turn. So we're going to start the game off by doing more damage than our opponents. And I think that part really matters a lot. So let's go Jolteon VMAX. Let's go ahead here. Let's go attach an energy there. You can see we have access to some things. So let's go like this. Let's go ahead, grab Sobble, search through our deck, see what we got going on over here. We do have access to our Cheryl. So there's Sobble. And we don't want to put a Jolteon down until later on in the game. We're going to go for Path to the Peak. And we do need to get set up for next turn. So let's go ahead, Marnie. We're trying to get multiple Sobbles out if possible. It's really one of the things that we're looking out for. So, I mean, we do have access to multiple Sobbles. We're going to go Sobble, put down another Sobble. I think that sounds like a really good play. So if they do knock out one, we're chilling. And we are going to take our first prize card here. So prize card 1 for us. Research, really not a bad start at all. I think we're in a great opportunity. It's one of those things where like our damage output's already higher than our opponents. Maybe they're just going to hit us for 100 again. We could go Cheryl, fully get set up. Possibly, depends on what our hand has going on, but we'll have to see how this matchup goes. Like, it's a lot of it's just like carefully benching down Pokemon, carefully getting more Sobbles out down than your opponent. Like, our board state looks better than our opponent's significantly, and depending on how they decide to play this one out, like they have another Jolteon down, so when we add damage counters to that Pokemon, we're going to be in a better position than our opponents. They might go Cheryl and fully heal some things. Like, that could be difficult for us to deal with, but we'll see how it ends up playing itself out. And they might just go 100. Okay, they're probably going to go ahead and go Zigzagoon here and take a freebie prize card on a Sobble. So we got some things that we got to get set up for next turn. And that's really where we're at. I don't think we're going to be able to play Cheryl unless we top deck a Cheryl here this turn. So we did not. So now we have to go ahead and get set up otherwise. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and grab a Quick Ball. Quick Ball, we do need to get another Jolteon out this turn because this Pokemon, we've accepted that it's getting knocked out. Let's go Quick Ball away, Path to the Peak. I think that sounds relatively fair. Let's go ahead and grab our Jolteon. Now, we do want to take another prize card on our opponent's Pokemon. I think that could be incredibly important. So let's go ahead and go Evolution Incense, search your deck for another Drizzile. And we're going to go ahead and try to find a way to find a Galarian Zigzagoon. I think those are really important cards in general. So let's go ahead, find the best way to find Zigzagoon. Quick Ball just might be it. I think Quick Ball is completely fine. We can totally pitch away this Evolution Incense. There's our Zigzagoon. Let's put the damage counter on their Sobble in case they're chilling with the Drizzile. That might be able to cut them off at the source. Now we are able to get set up here with some other cards going on. Fan of Waves might slow them down enough if they're trying to attack with that one. We do have access to a Speed Lightning Energy. We do have access to another Sobble to get set up with more Drizzile plays. And again, we do have to understand that our Pokemon is likely getting knocked out, but we did set the game up to win the game next turn. Our opponent is forced to now have raw Cheryl and energy in their hands. So it looks like we're outplaying our opponent at this point. And we might be able to grab complete control over the game. So they're going to go Boss. And if they just end up going 100-100, we will win the game. So you can see we're able to knock out our opponent's active, and we're able to knock out their Zigzagoon. They probably have the Drizzile in their hand, but you need to get multiple Sobbles out when it comes to playing this matchup to win the game like an expert. Now, they're probably hoping that we don't get the Jolteon VMAX out, but you want to know what? We just ended up getting the top deck that we needed. We could have gone Drizzile to search it out, in case anyone's wondering that. But let's go ahead and give our opponent the well played. Let's go ahead, hit onto their Zigzagoon, and we're going to be able to draw 4 prize cards in one turn. I think that's the big thing. Attach there, evolve, and we're going to go Max Thunder Rumble. Max Thunder Rumble going ahead, knocking out the active, knocking out the bench. There's that gigantic 4 prize card turn to take the dub against our opponents. So that was really just playing Jolteon better than your opponent. You want to make sure that you're like setting goals when it comes to playing something like this. You taught your kids using Bolton VMAX. It's a good deck to definitely start off with. I think that's a solid deck for sure. Yo, level up. I have no clue what that means. Okay, we got some coins there. So we're on that eight game win streak. So I think that part's relatively cool. I'm certainly happy with what's going on there. On a 6 or 7 game winning streak with Pikachu VMAX, that's awesome. That's really sick, actually. Okay, we're gonna try another game with Jolteon VMAX just to see exactly what we have going on. So, I'm totally running through these grapes. Double checking my phone. We're gonna jump into this game. I'm gonna have a sip of the coffee. Just waiting for our opponent here. So our opponent let us go first after winning the coin flip. I mean, that's kind of cool. We definitely take those. Starting off with a Jolteon certainly is not bad. I'm not sure what our opponent's playing to let us go with their water energy deck. Okay. Interesting. Might be weak to lightning, but we'll take exactly what we have going on there. But we're going to start off with a free retreat, Jolteon V. See exactly what we have going on. And again, don't need to put down the Sobble. We are going first, but let's get more information out of our top deck before we make the decision on putting Sobble down. You can always weigh decisions. Like, if we have Escape Rope, our opponent might just be in a tough spot. Okay, so they have Kyogre. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck, then choose 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. This could be a weird matchup. I don't know how they're going to get built up with Kyogre turn 1. I think they use Cryogonal in this matchup. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're going to build up an energy there, and we're going to vibe out here. I think we just we should be able to beat the Kyogre deck. I actually haven't played against it too much, but Aqua Storm certainly can be annoying. I think, do they play Volcarona to get those energies back? Yeah. So we can go ahead and knock out that Volcarona in a couple turns. And I think that might be something that's really important for us to kind of deal with, is just getting set up with some of these Pokemon. So let's go like this evolve. We already have the energy, so why not? For the Jolteon VMAX, let's attach the energy, and we can get set up for our next turn. I think that's something that I think is really important, is getting set up for our next turn. Our hand's not the greatest. Let's go ahead and play I don't want to play Research, so I'm going to go ahead and play a Marnie. You don't want to leave yourself with a dead hand when it comes to these things. So we're going to go ahead, put this all the way under our deck, try to get set up here, and we will be able to start placing some damage counters onto that Volcarona. And we have access to Evolution Incense, so I think we're big chillin' here. I think that's really the most important thing. So let's go for the Galarian Zigzagoon. We can double check through our deck just in case. Running a little bit low on energies, but right now I think we're okay. Let's go ahead, put the 10 damage there. Don't need to put the Elemental Badge down right now. Let's go Max Thunder Rumble, hits, and we're knocking out the Kyogre due to weakness as well. So this just makes it even better for us. The Quick Ball was certainly great, and if they are able to hit for, I think they need like 14 energies in their discard pile, 280 plus 20. I think we're good. Right now they have 5. So they need to get another 9 in their discard pile in order to knock us out. And if they get a knockout with the Volcarona on their second turn of the game for 300 damage on a Jolteon VMAX, I think we should just be playing Volcarona V. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they're going to try to go for some kind of Cryogonal play. Oh, they're just trying to get set up here wherever possible. We could go Boss's Orders, knock out their Kyogre, knock out their Volcarona, and I'm pretty sure they're going to end up scooping. So you want to what? Let's go ahead and see exactly what we want to do. Let's go Evolution Incense. Let's grab this Inteleon. I think that's the big play. You can see that we have other boss. So yeah, let's grab that Inteleon. I think we have another Jolteon VMAX, so I'm totally cool letting go of the other one. Let's go ahead, quick ball away our Jolteon VMAX here. We are going to grab a Jolteon V. Before we use Shady Dealings and Teleon, it's better for us to go Speed Lightning Energy, seeing what we could draw into. We are going to go quick ball away this Jolteon because I'm not too worried about what they have. We're going to grab a Sobble. So you can see this is really an ideal setup for us right now. We have this Drizzile, and we want to go for Boss's Orders, and we probably just want to grab a supporter of some kind. So we're going to go Boss's Orders, and let's grab a Research. I think those are both really good choices. So let's go Boss's Orders, bring this up. Again, we're just drawing these multi-prize card turns. Might as well attach that. There's actually no reason not to. So there's, again, 3 prize cards, multi-prize card turns. And we're big chillin' here again. We just don't really have a lot that we have to worry about it. Yeah, there's the concession from our opponents. We could just take quick dubs against decks like this. Okay, maybe we'll try Single Strike to get maybe a little bit more of a challenge. I'm just going through here, getting back to the message. So the live streams every Thursday. So the live streams every Thursday are on the Shuffle Squad channel. My live streams on this channel are right now at a random basis. So I just put them up on Twitter, see what's going on. The videos stay up, so even if you miss it, you could always rewatch it, see exactly what I have going on. I do want to get into a little bit more live streaming. It's really chaotic in my life right now, in order to have some kind of schedule to make that happen, but I do want to make sure that happens. Yeah, I will be playing with Single Strike probably right now. Yeah, the VSAR counters are crazy. Yeah, Volcarona is really cool. So 9-game win streak. I'm just gonna show the I'm gonna show the Jolteon deck quickly, and I'll be right back to show the Single Strike. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Do you think new players should use high power decks at first, or should they learn from a mid-tier deck first? I think players should learn at whatever deck they're comfortable with first. So everyone's at a different level. I think everyone's just at a different level right now. So I would just say, if you're okay playing a Jolteon deck and you understand how to play the Jolteon deck, that's cool. I think start off with a deck that makes sense to you while you're playing it out there. It should be relatively easy at start. So easier decks to play would be Turbo Zacian would be a relatively easy deck to play. Eternatus would be a relatively easy deck to play. Decks that have a concrete strategy that you're like, you want to know what? I'm able to understand this. I can play this deck, understand that deck, feel confident, grow after that. I don't know if there's a GX for expanded right now. Oh yeah, Ixa, you're 100% there. If you're super top tier, it might be hard to pick up on things. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna go ahead and show Single Strike. So here's my Single Strike deck. I'll let anyone look that one over. And I'll go ahead and I'll explain it. So here we have Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. Now this deck is all about playing different Single Strike Pokemon, but we'll start off with Single Strike Urshifu VMAX because that's really probably the most popular or more powerful one that we have in this deck. So you're able to use G-Max One Blow. It's a pretty hefty cost, but we have Energy Acceleration in this deck. Doing 270, you go through anything on your opponent's active Pokemon, maybe a Duraludon VMAX, maybe you can go through a Dauntless Shield Zamazenta V. You have ways to go through anything, and 270 plus some damage modifiers from Single Strike energies mean you're probably knocking out pretty much any Pokemon VMAX. So keep that in mind if you're playing against anything that is not Psychic type. You're probably going to be using Single Strike Urshifu VMAX to use G-Max One Blow to knock out their VMAX Pokemon. Now you power up these Pokemon with Houndoom Single Strike Roar. You would put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon, but you are able to search through your deck and attach a Single Strike energy to that Pokemon. You also have access to Earn a Vitality to get those Single Strike energies back, and that's how this deck really goes. You can see we have a handful of Single Strike Pokemon that we could choose to attack from. So we already went over the Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. Maybe you're using Beatdown, but quite honestly, if you're playing against V Pokemon or maybe a deck that's weak to fighting, you might want to be using Impact Blow to match their prize card output. So 2 prize card Pokemon should typically knock out 2 prize card Pokemon. If a 2 prize card Pokemon knocks out a 3 prize card Pokemon, you're probably putting yourself in a prize card lead. If you're knocking out a 1 prize card Pokemon with this deck, you are putting yourself at jeopardy for your opponent to take a lead on you. So something when you're planning games out, try to pace your Pokemon with your opponent's Pokemon, or beat their Pokemon with lesser prize cards. That's how you're able to conserve your prize cards throughout the game. We also have access to Umbreon VMAX. It's very similar to Boss's Orders. We could bring up your opponent's Pokemon with Dark Signal. So you could switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. That's the reason why we play the copies that we do of this card. It's more efficient at attacking because you're not discarding your energies and all that stuff, but it is it's okay. Umbreon V almost has the same thing as a single prize or as a 2 prize card Pokemon. Moonlight Blade does the same amount if you have damage counters on yourself, but you get damage counters on yourself with Houndoom. One new thing that we've seen in this deck, or a lot of players have been adding recently, is Morpeko. Morpeko puts for putting 2 Single Strike energies on this Pokemon, you go put 4 damage counters on this Pokemon, which brings it to 120 damage with Explosive Discontent. The plus 20 for each brings it to 160. 160 times 2 knocks out a Mew VMAX or a Mew V. This is a single prize card Pokemon, so this can help give you a little bit of a better Mew VMAX matchup. And also, Houndoom is really not a bad attacker, nor is Houndour, because they do get the Single Strike energies buffed damage output. Couple cool things that I've added into this deck is a copy of Single Strike Scroll of Scorn. If your opponent doesn't quite get the knockout or hits for a 1 hit or something like that, you can drop the Scroll of Scorn and kind of take some more efficient attacks back. Zinnia's is great just because a lot of players are playing large bench sizes. So playing 1 is certainly not a bad reason to play a supporter, just to differentiate from playing 4 copies of Marnie. So the deck overall is just meant to attack with various Pokemon throughout the game, matching prize cards against your opponent's prize cards, and then eventually overcoming them or overcoming them with HP. It's difficult to explain, but you're able to attack relatively quickly because of Houndour, and you have different Pokemon to attack with, whether it's Umbreon or Single Strike Urshifu or even Morpeko. Lots of options when it comes to this deck. Let's see how it works out with some gameplay. So I'm just getting some of my files ready. Based Morpeko. Yeah. Yo, what's poppin', peeps? So we're gonna jump into some gameplay in a second. I'm just finishing eating these grapes. And I'm getting myself all set up for whatever the rest of the week brings us. We'll see how that ends up going. But Okay. Let's go versus, see if we can get a couple good games. We're on that 9-game win streak, so let's see if single strike's a little bit inconsistent. So we'll see exactly how things play out in a second. Also, everyone here should totally tune in for the late nights, or the Shuffle Squad stream today. It starts at around 8 p.m. Eastern. So our opponent's calling the coin flip. So we started off by winning the coin flip. We would like to go first here. Let's see how this game plays out. I mean, really not too bad of a start. We have access to Single Strike Urshifu V, and we have access to Umbreon. Based off more of the metagame, I think either or is fine, but I think Umbreon might just be the best choice for us. So let's go ahead, send up Umbreon, see exactly what we have access to by the end of our turn, and see how this plays out for us. So our opponent's playing Guru. They're probably playing access to, if they're playing Guru, they're playing Mew, or they're playing Sylveon, or they're playing Turbo Zacian. So before we do anything, we probably want to pitch one of our Single Strike Urshifu Vs from play, try to get set up with some more cards. We're going to go ahead and go Great Ball, Umbreon. So we really don't have a lot of attacking potential, but we can put some of these cards down. The thing is, our attacks cost 3 energies. I'll explain this during our opponent's turn. So if we attach an energy, and we have access to Houndoom, like this turn we have access to 1 energy, so now we have 0 energies on board. Next turn we have access to 2 energies. So when we're going through these energy requirements, we have to understand what is available to us during our turn. So right now we could use Mean Look as our only attack that's available. Laser Focus, we don't play any basic fighting energies in this deck in order to use it. So you got to scale your attacks accordingly. That's why getting Houndour down on your first turn is so important. Some players, instead of Great Ball, do play Battle VIP Pass, but I find that those cards are not necessarily super helpful during the late game. To go against our opponent's Zamazenta V, we do have access to the Single Strike Urshifu VMAX, so that's something that could be important. So as this matchup becomes a little bit more prevalent, playing more Single Strike Urshifu V VMAX might be the better play. We'll have to see how it plays out throughout the entirety of the game, but we got to get through Dauntless Shield somehow. We could get through with our V Pokemon or our VMAX, or our Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. They do have 2 energies, so they are able to attack us the next turn, potentially. We do got to keep that in mind as we play throughout this game. So let's go with evolving this. There's no reason not to evolve that. I think we probably do want to go for a Mean Look against our opponent's Oranguru. I think that sounds like a pretty good call overall. I am going to go ahead here. We do need to get set up a little bit more, so I'm going to go Great Ball first. The Houndoom doesn't really help us too much, but we are going to pitch away the Single Strike Scroll of Scorn here with our Tower of Darkness, trying to get set up. We could also just go Single Strike Roar first to take an extra energy out of our deck, so if our opponent does have an Air Balloon or something like that, we will try to get set up. Not really too much going on here. Like, I don't want to pitch this hand away, but I think we're going to be forced to try to find more Houndours. So again, we are struggling to find the Houndour. Let's go Great Ball. Might as well grab Crobat because we currently don't have a lot of reasons to be doing anything else otherwise. We could go hit the Zamazenta for 30, but they could just go Crystal Cave that away. I think right now at this point, it might just be better for us to go Mean Look here for 30. And not attaching the energy. We could have attached the energy there too. That might have been a little bit better. It's just like, if our opponent gets a switch and knocks us out, we probably just lose this game anyways. If they don't have switch energy, we're probably okay. Because then we could go ahead and go Max Darkness plus 3 Single Strike energies, knock out this Zacian V. So we're really hoping that they don't find switch in any capacity, and that they just have access to Air Balloon. They might just go ahead and go for Intrepid Sword. The other thing that we have to hope for, there's energy. Come on, don't have it. It's always that waiting game. You never know if they're just like holding on to it, trying to figure out exactly what they're trying to do. There's our Crystal Cave taking out our Tower of Darkness. And we do have access to, we will be able to get the knockouts. So if they didn't get 2 energies on there, I totally would have left this one there to have access to attack with the Zamazenta V. We are going to go ahead here and evolve this one first. So let's go Single Strike Roar, build up an energy onto this Pokemon. We're going to go ahead and attach a Single Strike energy here. We're going to bring up our opponent's Zacian V, because again, we're doing 220. So we're going to take a 3 prize card Pokemon out of contention. Let's go ahead here, go Great Ball. There's another Houndour. Those are the cards that we're looking for. I don't know if Morpeko is going to be super helpful in this particular matchup, just because it doesn't really have staying power and getting knocked out. So I think I'm going to end up pitching that one away. So let's pitch this away, trying to get set up with more cards in general. Our opponent has a relatively large hand. Let's play Marnie to lower their hand size. Maybe getting another Houndour if we have the opportunity to do so. I'm completely fine if we take away one of these capture energies to get another Houndour, because again, Houndour will allow us to get set up, and if they do not get a Houndour, we could be in a tough spot. And capture energies we can only attach once per turn anyways, so it doesn't really matter. There's Max Darkness, there's a knockout, and we're up on prize cards. Our opponent's going to be forced to send up their Zacian V, and I think we're in an okay spot. If they decide to put another one down, we don't even have to worry about the Zamazenta. So we'll see how they play it out. They might just go with Guru while they're trying to get set up, because we just had a massive turn against them. So even though we had a slow setup, we were able to play around things to try to have a better opportunity against our opponent. If they don't get a Cape of Toughness down here, they need Cape of Toughness and an energy to be able to survive our Max Darkness attack. Because otherwise, we just have to go through this one Pokemon throughout the rest of the game. So, again, hoping they put another Zacian V down. Because then we don't need to worry about the Dauntless Shield at all. So our opponent unfortunately made that mistake. We don't need to worry about what they have going on. We just have to worry about knocking out one of their Pokemon for the rest of the game. So we can go Boss's Orders, knock out this Zacian. If they don't get a Cape of Toughness, we can knock out the active one. And we're just going to be in a pretty good position overall. See what they decide to do here. We might see a concession from our opponent, to be honest. Either that or we might see a switch. We do have that Boss's Orders. They're really not in a great spot because they're not taking those active knockouts. Yeah, and there's the concession from our opponent, so we were able to overcome it. That was a really good game. How do I feel about playing a single fighting energy? I don't think it actually matters. Battle VIP Pass without Great Balls. I mean, VIP Pass doesn't allow you to grab the majority of cards to your deck. That's pretty cool. Yeah, 2-1's fine as well. I mean, it's one of those things that you could definitely play with some cards in general and change it up a little bit. We are on that 10 game win streak ward, so that's cool. We'll play another one here. We'll play another one. So far we're in a good spot. Just waiting for our opponent here. Okay. We're playing against Senor Doom. See how they're playing. So we started off by losing the coin flip. That's completely fine. Our hands really don't have too much going on with it. So we're going to start off with the Umbreon V. I think that's just the better card to start off because Houndour is a little bit light, I should say. No reason to put the Houndour down, and let's see what they decide to flip up. They are going with Genesect, so we are going to be playing against a Mew deck. Could be a little bit difficult for us to deal with the way our hand currently is started. They don't play Marnie, so we don't need to worry about that at all. We're really not in a good position, and I think this is one thing that I do want to put out there. Mew loses to counter decks, like any other deck. If you're trying to counter a deck, Mew has a glaring weakness to Dark, so that's why we're seeing the baby Galarian Moltres deck come out. We see decks like Single Strike come out to play, Eternatus, Gengar VMAX, and these are like where Mew has these explosive starts. So right now we're facing down a turn 2, 280 damage possible with Meloetta, or very probable Technoblast knockouts on our Pokemon. So as we have more cards in our deck, or inconsistent cards in our deck, we can struggle here in general. I am going to attach to this Umbreon V so we can get set up a little bit there. I am going to search my deck for another Houndour so we have access to getting set up. We did prize a Single Strike energy. It's something we want to know. But Single Strike Urshifu VMAX does get hands like this. We do have access to Houndoom attack next turn with Single Strike Roar. So hopefully if Senor Doom does get a knockout, that they are able to just knock out this one, or that we do get an extra energy. We want to make sure that we're able to attach 3 energies in a turn, because that's what's going to be required of us. Wasn't a good idea to attach the energy first on their behalf. They could have played some other cards first, but there's their switch. They're looking for a Mew VMAX, I think, and they have quite a few cards to make that happen. Oh, they're playing Crushing Hammer in their Mew deck too. I think that might be difficult for us to deal with too. Like, it's just extra things that we have to deal with. But that's okay. There's another power tablet, so they're plus 60. I don't think Psychic Leap we have to worry about too much, but we'll see. Here's their second Genesect. Great Ball. There's the Mew VMAX. So we are going to get Technoblast. Technoblasted. We'll see how it goes. We also have access to Rose Tower, so depending on what we top deck. So yeah, there's the Umbreon getting knocked out. They're not going to be able to play Elsa's Sparkles, so we might be in an okay-ish spot. Like, we might be able to draw 3 prize cards next turn legitimately. We just have to see what happens here. And there's Technoblast, knockout. So you can see Mew's coming out, knocking us out. They've started the prize card race better. Let's see what we could do with this Umbreon V and see if we can get set up. The Air Balloon's not bad because it does allow us to get set up a little bit. We can draw 1 card with Rose Tower. And it's better for us, actually, if we're drawing 1 card, to not use Single Strike Roar first, because we actually want to see more energies in general. So we go Air Balloon here onto this Pokemon, or actually, let's go Air Balloon here onto this Pokemon, just in case that gets knocked out. Let's go Rose Tower, and we missed it. So you can see that, like, we are big time struggling against this type of deck, just because we don't have access to getting the knockout. More Pekka would be awesome in this matchup. But you could see that, like, their start's so powerful. We're super slow here. We're just really in a tough spot now. Maybe they won't be able to get out of the active spots. They did use Technoblast last turn, and they cannot retreat with Mean Look. So those are things that could matter. There's their switch. So they are going to be able to fully knock us out again with Melodious Echo. So this is really where the matchup gets terrible for us, because they have multiple Pokemon powered up. So no matter what we put down, we likely lose the game. Now, we could get the knockout with more Pekka, then go Umbreon V. That might be a way for us to win it. So we do have access to send something up. We will be able to top deck a card. So if we do get a more Pekka in play, we could still potentially win the game. The Technoblast, not a great play there. They should have used Melodious Echo just in case this Pokemon gets stuck up in the active spot again for whatever reason. So we're going to try again this turn. So we're going to go Evolution Incense. We're going to waste it because there's nothing we want to be grabbing out. We could get the knockout here, actually. We could go 50, 70, 90. Yeah, we might be able to get the knockout with the Houndoom. So you want to know what? Let's go for Urn of Vitality. And before we do anything, we'll draw the card with Rose Tower because it still might be better for us to have the Houndooms in play. But we could still get the knockout. So let's see what Rose Tower brings us. Marnie's certainly not a bad card. Now, we do have to decide, are we going to be hitting for 50, 70, the knockouts? I think we end up going ahead and doing that. So let's go Single Strike Roar, putting this down. We're going to go ahead, Single Strike Roar again, because we don't want to draw into our Single Strike energies, not be able to use Single Strike Roar. Let's go Marnie. If we avoid putting a 2 prize card Pokemon down on our field, we still might have a chance to win this game. We haven't attached for our turn yet, so I think that's really something that could matter. So let's go ahead, put that down. No reason for us not to attach to the Houndour. We might have free retreat out of that. Let's go ahead, put this Morpeko down. So we have access potentially to knocking out our opponent's Pokemon. We're going to go ahead, retreat here. And we're going to leave the Great Ball for next turn because it doesn't really matter. So there's Darkness Fang, knocking out the Mew with Darkness Fang. We're really just trying our best here to make it through. We do have another Single Strike energy. Like, we do have ways to make this happen. We have Boss's Orders. So you want to what? We might actually be able to finish this game off with Boss's Orders. We only have the 1 Single Strike energy in deck, so we need to get an Urn of Vitality. But if we end up getting Urn of Vitality, we might be able to make a comeback here. So you can see, like, just by appropriately playing Pokemon down, we now have a footing back in this game, and it's just... I don't want to be like it's excellent play when we're dealing with nothing, but this is really where a lot of top players are able to come back out of games, and you're like, how did they come back? This is really how they are able to come back out of these games. So we're... Just by Senor Doom evolving into this Mew VMAX is the mistake on their behalf. The energy there didn't matter at all either. So we'll see. I need to get an Urn or I need to get a Crobat. Those are really the big plays that we're looking for. So we'll see. How many switches have they used? They've used 3 switches. Oh, they're getting the knockout with on the Morpeko. They actually just gave us a chance to win this game. If we are able to get an Umbreon here. Because we have 2 in the deck now. I don't know why they played Fan. Let's see if we can just get it. I think we actually just win the game now, right? So let's go Quick Ball. Like, I mean, this is a card that we're just not going to play down. We go Quick Ball for the Umbreon. Yeah, I think we literally just got it. So let's go Single Strike Roar. Yeah, we totally just get it. Yeah, we could have got Crobat from the Great Ball. But yeah, we were just able to take this game because we played well around what they had going on. It's a game that I wasn't really expecting to win, but we're going to go ahead, retreat. We could have played down more cards too and made it happen. Let's go Moonlight Blade for the gigantic knockouts. We are going to take that dub against Senor Doom. Well played, homie. Sometimes it doesn't always work out. So that's really like... That I think that was a game that I played very well. I'm really happy with how I played that game. I turned a game that was absolutely nothing into something. Okay. You win, thanks all to the fan. I mean, we would have been able to go Rose Tower. We would have been able to go Great Ball, search our deck for maybe the Crobats. I think that was literally just a really cool game. So things that Senor Doom could have done better is not putting a Mew VMAX down on their bench. That would have taken off the win con. I would have not been able to win. Using Fan of Waves, like, they got ahead of themselves. They didn't conserve their resources, didn't understand where my win cons could have come from. Going after the Morpeko, again, it could have been a mistake on their behalf. Just because if you attach a Single Strike energy, you don't take the damage counters there. So the Houndoom was actually more serious than the Morpeko. Of course, we had a way to get around it, but it would have been better for them to knock out that instead of the Houndoom. So very, very interesting game overall. So I'm going to go ahead and show the list here. Just in case anyone has it. I mean, we didn't get to see the Morpeko, but we could have seen the Morpeko. Like, I hope everyone understands that that was really a situation where putting the Morpeko down really made a lot of sense, just so we had access to it. On that 11 game win streak. Okay. I'm looking for my late night series event. So one thing that I also like to do, since we're already here on the live stream, let's go over the top decks that we have played. So let's go here. We could go put that there. And let's here's what we have going on for these decks. So one thing that I might want to start doing is start doing the top 16, just so we have access to people watching more of this video and understanding more of the metagame. So I think I am, as the tournament grows, that we are going to do top 16. So let's go ahead here and go like this. Okay. So here you have it. We have the top 16. Actually, we're going to start that one off a little bit. You're catching me doing a live mistake in in progress. I always, sometimes I just make these things out there. I don't like how that looks there. Let's go ahead. Let's copy it over from this. Copy, let's go paste. So we have that right there. So here you have it, the results of the late night series number 19 event. So this was a large late night series event. We had 300 plus players playing in this event, 327 to be exact. We tried a new structure for making it top 32. So 11 rounds, top 32. That seemed to work out great because a lot of players were in there. So you could see a lot of cool decks like Malamar, Jolteon, Ice Rider, Duraludon, all that kind of stuff. And one thing that I do want to let people know is that I'm going to start doing top 16 for these videos now, because I think it's worthwhile to start looking over top 16 best decks in format. So we're going to start off. There's a lot more to cover, so let's start off quickly. We have Capitinha. I'm really bad at pronouncing names. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. With Rapid Strike, Inteleon VMAX. So the goal of this deck is to be using Inteleon VMAX, keep on using the Rapid Strike energies, lifting them back with its attack, and 140, 140, 140, 140 healing. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. You have access to Avery to take out some of your opponent's Pokemon, for Cheryl. When it comes to this list, I mean, I'm not sure why it's placed like this on the Limitless website. It's kind of actually really awkward. The Sobble, Drizzile, Inteleon. So not sure why those weren't sorted, but that's okay. That's just me being a little bit particular. We have, I mean, I think this list looks fine. Basculin's a really cool card. Basculin does 30 plus 10 for each damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. Can really add up, and it does take a Rapid Strike energy as well. I think this list looks cool. I don't know if I like the version without playing Double Gunner, but maybe that's the better version to be playing. I think I need to just experiment with it nowadays, but this really might just be the best way to be playing it. So great job, Rapid Strike Inteleon. Kind of a lower tier top 20 deck right now, but I think it has a lot more potential than what it's currently seeing success. Jumping into number 15, we have Charles Martin playing Jolteon VMAX. Jolteon VMAX, always a great choice. I think the 4-3 Jolteon VMAX, the goal using Max Thunder Rumble, 100 damage to the active, 100 damage to a damaged benched Pokemon. You get those damage counters with Zigzagoon or Quick Shooting. I think the list looks very good. I don't see anything that I would actually change about this list. If anything, this is exactly my current list, so straight up, great job to Charles. Jolteon VMAX is well positioned because it has a decent matchup against Mew VMAX, Suicune, and a lot of other decks in the format can't really handle the double pings from Max Thunder Rumble, so great job over there. We have an interesting deck at number 14. We have Jonathan Patricio. I always like to say Jonathan Patricio, but it's, yeah. Jonathan, we have the Duraludon list that's been seeing a lot of success lately. So 3-3 Duraludon with this Skyscraper ability, preventing all damage by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have any special energies attached to them. I think that's a pretty cool ability. There's a lot of decks that have special energies attached to them. 2 Zacian, 1 Zamazenta. I think players are playing Avery for Suicune or just drawing 3 cards. Not sure how I feel about it. Adventurous Discovery, again, another underutilized cards. Searching your deck for 3 Pokemon V, and yes, I could search out VMAX Pokemon. I think it's just like this kind of mid-range attacking control deck where you go Crushing Hammer against your opponent's Pokemon, Flannery against Path to the Peaks, or just special energies that might not matter, Crystal Caves, Healing, Big Charms, Energies. So I think like attacks like this are really cool. I really like the energy switch in the deck, probably more than I like the Raihan in the Grant Manley build. So overall, I think that this is a very good build of Duraludon VMAX, but I don't know how I like Duraludon, if I like how Duraludon VMAX is getting built right now. I also don't know if the deck needs Zamazenta V. I'm still very confused about that card in general. So great job to Jonathan. We have, where are they from? They're from El Salvador, so probably Jorge Connie playing Turbo Zacian. So normally my buddy Josh Sutherland plays this deck, playing it 4-2-2, just trying to go Intrepid Sword, attack with Brave Blade quickly as possible. Don't necessarily think Rusted Shield is very important. I'd rather see a Turbo Zamazenta build with Rusted Shield. This looks very similar to the build that my group and I popularized at the beginning of the season in September. So, I mean, overall, I think it looks like a solid list. I think the Rusted Shield should just be another Cape of Toughness if you had to ask me. Otherwise, Turbo Zacian is a really basic deck that is relatively cheap budget, and I think great for newer players to the game. Still can pop off here or there, but not necessarily as much as other decks right now. We're going to see our first Mew with Cheech. Cheech typically does very well at the late night series, so it's nice to see them up there as well. We got the Mew VMAX focusing on Cross Fusion Strike to copy Technoblast or Melodious Echo or even Psychic Leap on Mew V. You have the Fusion Strike system with Genesect V, trying to draw a bunch of cards. I mean, what does this deck not have? You have Energy Acceleration, Damage Outputs. You could bring up your opponent's Pokemon with Boss's Orders. You have access to Cramomatic to search out whatever you like. I think this is a very strong build of the deck. If anything, I think my deck is exactly the same, except my Vitality Band is cut for an Alice of Sparkle, my Boss's Orders is cut for an Oricorio, and my Crystal Cave is cut for something else. I do like Escape Rope in this deck, so that's one thing that I would like to point out, but a lot of players are seeing success with Mew regardless of their current list. We're going to be moving on beyond that. We have Vicariant playing Mew as well, so we can see their list is probably going to be incredibly similar. They're going with the 4 Alice of Sparkle, like I like to play in my list. I think this was literally currently my list, except I play Escape Rope. I don't play Vitality Band, which I think I play for an Oricorio, so very, very similar across the board. They do play a third Energy, which is great in a Duraludon heavy metagame, so a very typical, powerful version of Mew. Speaking about my buddy Josh Sutherland, there they are, playing the Turbo Zacian deck. This is pretty much exactly the same list that I'd be playing. I think a second copy of Raihan might be better than maybe the 4th copy of Cape of Toughness. Maybe the 4th copy of Cape of Toughness is what I play. I'm honestly not sure, but either way, Josh knows what he's doing with this deck. Always making it to the top tables regardless of whatever deck he's playing. So shout out to Josh. I'd love to see the homies up there. We have Andrew S. Playing Jolteon. So we've already saw Jolteon. Very similar list to one that we saw. They do play double Fan of Waves. That comes at the cost of maybe a boss. Other than that, I think that it seems like a very typical strong build. So nothing out of the ordinary, and not really too much that I would personally change here either. So shout out to Andrew. We're moving into the top 8 now. So previously we wouldn't be covering all those other decks within the top 16, but covering those decks is awesome. We're going to be moving into 8. We have GZ ACG playing Mew VMAX. So again, you can see these lists are very similar. They are playing the Escape Rope in their deck. Yeah, I think all of these lists are very similar. They're playing an extra copy of Switch, no Rotom Phone, playing an Evolution Incense, just cards that you could burn out of your hand. This is the most popular version of Mew. Meloetta is just absolutely cracked at getting those turn 1 210 knock out anything. So shout out to Jeezy. We have Fabian Robledo, playing Turbo Zacian again. So you can see quite a few Turbo Zacians, the decks that are doing well. keep on doing well, playing with the double Raihan version. So again, I think this list is very similar, just one card off from Josh Sutherland's list. I think they cut a tool scrapper for that second copy of the Raihan. So well played to them overall. Turbo Zacian doing incredibly well. We have Thembert, my buddy Matt, playing Mew VMAX. I think this version of Mew VMAX, again, very similar. 3-3 boss and Elsa to make room for... I don't know what they're necessarily making room for. They have the Rotom phones. I think all these lists looks very similar in general, where they're playing either 6 or 7 energies. They play Escape Rope, play a few Switch, they play 3-4 stadiums. You can see that like the lists are like 55 cards exactly the same, and then the other 5 cards are really their flavor cards. So great job to Matt playing that deck. We have Pertz playing again at Mew VMAX. So we can see exactly how that works out. Probably going to be very similar. We've seen a lot of Mew VMAX decks. So I don't want to be rushing over any players. I mean, I like to congratulate every single player who's seen success at these events. But I do also want to be like, hey, by the way, we are looking at the same Mew VMAX list that we've already done. So for the sake of the video and any educational purposes, I do try to put that out there. Again, a very similar list to what we've seen. Not going for Rotom Phone, going for an Evolution Incense. I think that seems completely fine and valid. What else do we got going on here after Pertz? We have El Nortamigo playing Shadow Rider. So, I mean, Shadow Rider is a really cool deck overall. They went for an Alcremie build with Zacian instead of the build that I like with Latios. But this build looks really good, and it's probably good against Jolteon VMAX. I wouldn't necessarily worry about Phoebe too much. I really wouldn't worry about Phoebe too much. Maybe they're worried about Turbo Zacian, and that's really the struggle, but I think one Phoebe enough probably doesn't win that matchup anyways. Overall, build looks really great. The goal is just to be using Shadow Riders, Underworld Door, Accelerating Energies, and this deck in the Chilling Rain format was tier 1. It could come back. So if you haven't already given a chance to try play this deck out or try this deck, I think it's really worthwhile. It does do better than Mew in some circumstances against some of the decks that counter Mew, and vice versa if you are playing Mew. We do have Christian Stiriren, so my buddy Ipo, playing Single Strike. So I mean, so far with the build, the goal is to use Single Strike Roar, powering up your Umbreon V, Umbreon VMAX, Single Strike Urshifu V, Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. This looks like a very good build of the deck. I don't think there's really too much that I would change out of here at all, actually. I think it just seems like a really good build. Maybe cutting a Single Strike Urshifu V would be great. 3-2 might be a little bit much, but with the Jolteon infested metagame, I think this seems strong. Maybe you could get rid of a Switch card as well. So might be a little bit like, but I think this list is like 2 cards off from my current list. So again, really powerful deck, powering up different Pokemon, being fighting for Jolteon and Gengar and Eternatus, and being dark for Shadow Rider. And Mew can be really helpful on top of having the strong Single Strike build. So making top 4. We do have finals. We have my Shuffle Squad teammate and testing partner Vaughn O'Brien playing Jolteon VMAX. I think that Vaughn and I are on the exact same list right now. This is the same list I think that Vaughn was able to win the 1.7K event, so a $1,700 event in Connecticut that was in real life. So Vaughn crushing it with the Jolteon VMAX here again, making finals absolutely sick, winning some of the Atlas Store credits. So great list of Vaughn, and we do have our champion Chrome PvP winning the 3rd late night series in a row with Mew VMAX. Chrome hasn't, Mew VMAX has, but Chrome winning with Mew. I think adding 1 Peony in the deck is really cool for Mirror, so you could just search things out at your free will. Overall, I think everything else looks very similar to what we've seen throughout the rest of this list. So Mew VMAX doing incredibly well as always. If you're looking to do well at the late night series, Mew VMAX does find itself in the finals pretty much every single week. So keep that in mind as the format grows, is that Mew VMAX is incredibly good. All these lists are going to be available in the description of this YouTube video with the link to all the standings on the Play Limitless website. Congratulations to every single player who placed at this event, who played in this event, watched the stream, who support myself as a content creator. It's much appreciated for these late night series. Again, a special shout out to our sponsors, PTCGO Store and Atlas Collectibles. So that's what we got going on, peeps. I'm just going to get back to the chats. Do you think Avery could devastate an Eternatus deck? It could. I don't know if it really matters too much, though. I'm not sure if it really matters too much. So we're gonna go ahead and switch over to we're just going to switch over to here right now. That's what we got going on for these videos today, peeps. Hopefully you enjoyed watching these videos and seeing exactly what's going on here. But that's what we got going on for the live stream. I just try to cover these decks so I could cover them on YouTube in the future while everyone else kind of hangs out. But by any means, if you got any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. And stay tuned for all these future videos. I do appreciate everyone who's kind of hung out today. It's always more fun to do this than by myself. And it does help me get some of those live stream hours out there and feel a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera. So that being said, I am going to dip out. I really appreciate everything else. And again, as always, people coming out to support the stream. Do check out the Shuffle Squad stream at 8. So in about 7 hours, I'm going to be streaming some tabletop gameplay at the Shuffle Squad's YouTube channel. And I'm probably going to be posting about it all on Twitter and Facebook and Discord and YouTube and all that stuff. So I'd love to see everyone else there. Let's show them some love. That being said, I am going to catch up with all you later. Peace out and have a great day. And stay tuned for more great Pokemon content in general. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much, everyone, as always. I'll catch up with all y'all later.